Hi everybody, it's JoJo, and I'm here to do a ranking of my favorite horror films. So my top 3 favorite horror films of all time is Child's Play, Scream, and Jeepers Creepers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rank them from my least favorite to my favorite, the sequels to each of them, because they each have sequels. I'm going to start off with my least favorite of the I'm going to start off with my least favorite of my top 3, which is Jeepers Creepers, even though I really love Jeepers Creepers. Jeepers Creepers is my 3rd favorite in a row. So my favorite would be Child's Play, then Scream, and then Jeepers Creepers. So, okay, so let's start off with Jeepers Creepers. So let's do the top. So they only have 2 sequels. So the third, my least favorite out of the Jeepers Creepers films is definitely the 3rd one. That was just a horrible, it was direct to video, it was such a horrible, I don't even remember it, it was so bad. For them to come back and do that after all those years, to do that sequel is really, they need to just forget about that. It was just so fucking bad. And the girl Trish, that was in the first film, was supposed to reprise her role for the 3rd film, and she was like, no, I'm not doing that. She was like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't blame her because it was a hot-ass mess. So I'm not even going to talk that much about the 3rd one because it was just horrible. It was like the worst, one of the worst horror films I ever saw in my life. Okay, so now we'll go on to the 2nd one. So the 2nd one came out 2 years after the 1st one. So the 2nd one is my 2nd favorite. So it's basically 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. So it's like in a row. So the 2nd one was good. I just think they really prolonged them being on that bus. Like, they could have taken them off that bus and made them go somewhere else in the movie, but the majority of the film is just them on that bus. And it kind of gets a little played out, them just on the bus trying to survive. Like, I wish they would have just expanded their horizons and just, like, I really like the way they started off the film. Like, they started off with the Jeepers Creeper, the creeper in the corn maze attacking the family. It takes the son away, and then the father wants to seek revenge for the whole film. And I love the ending where, like, he's sitting there with the gun waiting for him to wake up, because every 23rd spring the creeper wakes up for 23 days. Now, I think the 2nd film is supposed to be set a few days after the 1st film. So the 3rd film, I don't even know when that's set. I don't know if it's set before that, or I don't even fucking know. But the 2nd film is supposed to be set a few days after the events of the 1st film. So, and then the guy, Justin Long, the actor, he reprised his role for a little cameo in the 2nd one. But that was that. So the 2nd one was good. The actors were really hot. I think they were really, really good looking, and there was a lot of gay innuendos, which I thought was cool, because, I love a lot of, like, there was one character that was gay, they were hinting at it. So, yeah, I like it. But I didn't like the fact that one guy was kind of, like, hating on the guy because he was gay. I think, I don't know, that was fucked up. So, but other than that, it was good. It was a good one. I didn't mind the 2nd one. The 2nd one was good. But my favorite was definitely the 1st. Okay. Definitely the 1st Jeepers Creepers. Now, I watched that with my mom, my grandma. We rented it off Blockbuster. That's how old this was, because I think it came out in 2001. So we got it at a Blockbuster, and we rented it. And we watched it, and it was, like, really, really good. And I remember loving it, and we all loved it. All of us. My mom, my grandma, we all loved the film. It was just really, really good. Like, I can't even, like, go into really depth of how good it was. Like, the way they eased into who the creeper was. Like, they kind of, like, slowly but surely we got to reveal what this was, right? Because we were thinking it was just a man in a coat killing people. But then we slowly realized that it's some other species pretending to be dressed up as a man, killing and eating people. So and the psychic was a cool touch. She comes in and she tries to warn them that what this thing is. The 1st film was epic. It was a classic. It was excuse me. Oh my god. I hope the hand soap's not in the frame, because I just filmed the scent review for Frosted Cranberries. I'm going to take that out of the way. Okay. I just sneezed, and I'm going to have to blow my nose. I want that. If I do, I'll get up and get a tissue, girl, because this is just ridiculous. Okay. Okay, so that's it with Jeepers Creepers. I really liked the film. I think Justin Long was supposed to be gay in the film. They kind of hinted at it, like he was. There was a license plate that said gay on it or something. He said, "That's mine." You know, he was playing this game with his sister. So it was basically about him and his sister driving for spring break home from college, and then they get attacked by the creeper. So that's basically what that was. Okay, now let's get on to Scream. So Scream. So my least favorite Scream movie is definitely the third one. I love the whole serial killer type of films. But Scream the third one was definitely my least favorite. It just didn't flow as good as the other ones did. See, now my nose is running. Ugh, I hate those. So anyways, yeah, so it didn't really flow as well. It was the only film that had one killer in it, but that wasn't a big deal. I like the fact that they had the half-brother come, you know, and try to, seek revenge on the sister or whatever. But other than that, it wasn't, like, that good. Like, it was definitely, it was the least best. It really was. Then my second to least favorite was definitely, I'm going to say the fourth one. I love the fourth one, but, yeah, I could even say the fourth and the second one would be a tie for me because they both were so good in its own way. So I would say the fourth and the second movie of Scream would be a tie. I liked both of them for different reasons. Yeah, I mean, they both were really, really good. I was expecting in the fourth one of the main characters were going to die because, like, at that point, it's like, how long are they going to survive with these people trying to kill them? But at the end of the day, like, they survived again. Like, they did survive. I really like the subplot, like the reason for the killers doing what they were doing. I really like the reasoning behind it in the fourth film. The reasoning was, spoiler alert, Jill, the cousin, and then the one guy who was Macaulay Culkin's brother in real life. They both were the killers. I don't know, the one guy was obsessed with horror films, and the cousin, she wanted to be the center of attention because growing up, Sydney got the center of attention because she was the sole survivor, and there was like it was just a big thing revolved around, of course, in that realm of Scream, Sydney was like a star. So she was jealous, and she wanted to do this whole thing to try to make it seem like she was the sole survivor now, and everyone else died, and then she was gonna blame it on her boyfriend who cheated on her in the film, Nico Tortorella, who's non-binary and gay in real life. He was the boyfriend. So anyways, the fourth one was really good. So the second one then was also really good. I love anything in the 90s, you know what I mean? That was right after the first film. I love the opening in the movie theater. I just loved a lot about the second film. I loved how it was set in college, and then the ending was in a theater. And then one of the killers was the mother of Billy from the first film. He was the mother who was seeking revenge. So, yeah, it was good. It was a good, the screams are so good. So then the first one is my favorite. It's a classic. I think I would watch that I watch it at least once a year, the first one. In fact, I watch all 4 of them in a row, back to back, once a year. It's just so good. When I first watched them, like, you don't know who the killer is, so it's like you're on the edge of your seat. Who's the killer? Anyone could be the killer. So it was good. It's a really good franchise, and, God, the first one was so good. I remember watching it as a kid, like, oh my God, it was so good. I think we rented it off Blockbuster, too. Of course, I was too young to watch it in the theater, so we had to wait for it to get on Blockbuster to watch it at home. Yeah, so that's that. So let's go into Child's Play now. So Child's Play... Girl, I gotta see how much time I have. Okay, so I have about, like, 10 minutes. Okay. So let's talk about Child's Play now. It's crazy because Child's Play is my favorite, but the last few films are, like, so bad that, like, it could have bumped Child's Play to, like, my second favorite horror films of all time, but because the first 4 were so good, it's still my favorite of all time, honestly, is Child's Play. It's still, the first 2 still scares me, like, it still, like, makes me scared, like, I have to watch those during the day, honestly. Anyways. So let's talk about this. So my least favorite is definitely Seed of Chucky. I think that is the worst film ever imaginable. I don't know what the fuck they were doing with Seed of Chucky. They were like, oh, the comedy and the shitty movie started up with Bride of Chucky, but I actually disagree with that. Bride of Chucky is actually one of my favorites, and I'll get to that when I get to it. Seed of Chucky is so bad. Like, I don't remember it. I think I only watched it once, and I never watched it again. It was so bad. So I'm not even going to talk about that. It was just so stupid. The child was British and didn't want to be a serial killer, and then they just really took it wasn't even funny though. Like, they tried to make it a comedy, but it wasn't even funny. Anyways, it was so bad. So we'll just skip that altogether. Then my second least favorite was definitely what the hell was it called? Cult of Chucky. I think it was called Cult of Chucky, which was the one that recently came out. So bad. I mean, just so bad. It was about Chucky splitting his soul into all these different dolls, and there was a cult of dolls attacking the one girl in the wheelchair. It was just so bad. I can't even get into it. It was just so bad. It really was. I mean, if you really like Child's Play, just don't watch Seed of Chucky or Cult of Chucky. Those two were so bad. Okay, so then we'll get into my third least favorite of this franchise. So it is definitely The Curse of Chucky. So The Curse of Chucky came out years after Seed of Chucky. It was, I think, the sixth film. So there's 7 of them. So it was the 6th film. I'm not even going to do the remake in this because the remake is its own franchise. It's its own, like, it's a reboot of it. So I'm not even going to do the reboot that came out in 2019. That one, I'll just say I didn't like that much. I think that they made Chucky too cute, and they made him like a cute little doll. It wasn't scary at all. I did like the idea. It was an upgraded version of doll being like, oh, like being upgraded and being programmed to do all these things, but I'm not even going to talk about the reboot of Child's Play. That's not even in this. But it was alright. It wasn't that good. Anyways, back to the actual franchise. So, Curse of Chucky was cool. I think after Seed of Chucky, anything would be better than that, honestly. So, I liked Curse of Chucky. I did. It was better than Cult of Chucky, and it was way better than Seed of Chucky. So, I'll say I like, if it was scale 1 through 10, I'd probably rate a 7. It was a good movie. It was good. It was 6 or 7. It was good. It was good. I think they definitely, updated the franchise with that one. It was a good idea. They I don't know, they added to the first film, which was Chucky was obsessed with this woman who called the police on him originally in the first film, which we found out in Curse of Chucky. It was alright. It was a good film. I think it was scary, it was cool. It wasn't like the bomb, but it was alright. Okay, now we're getting into the best one. So my 4th favorite out of the films were the third Child's Play. So third Child's Play was really good. I liked that he was in a school. It was Andy grown up, and Chucky was trying to still attack him and kill him. What I found weird was that he was like, okay, he's in a new body, right? New doll, he's a new body. Like, but then he told, because the rule is, if you're in a new body, whoever you told your secret to is the one you have to transfer your soul into that body, or whatever. So, but he tells this young kid, it's like, so now that you know the rules, why are you telling, I would have told, like, this, I don't know, this hot guy or something, I don't know, like, this older guy, so, like, you can be your age. But he tells this little boy again. He tells this little kid his secret. I thought it was weird, because then, like, now he's gonna have to transfer his soul into the little kid. Anyways, it was cute. I like the actor who plays Andy. He was cool. It was a good film. I like the ending and the theme park, the carnival. It was scary. It was cool. Wasn't my favorite. It was getting boring, him just keep attacking Andy at that point. Like, it was like they had to reboot it and refresh it and make it new and fresh, and they did with the 4th film. So my next favorite is Bride of Chucky. So Bride of Chucky is, they definitely revamped the franchise with Bride of Chucky. They really went a different route with it, but it was good. It was good. It was like, they took a risk, but it was a good risk. Not the kind of risk they took with Seed of Chucky. That was just ridiculous. But with Bride of Chucky, they did just enough to change it, but make it really good. So, I love Jennifer Tilly. I just love Jennifer Tilly. And I love the fact that they made him have this woman who wanted to bring him back, who was in love with this guy. And then he got pissed off because she was like not wanting him in the doll, I guess. And then so he was like getting I don't know, getting spiteful. So then he killed her and then transferred her into a female doll. And then they kind of fall in love kind of throughout the film while killing and causing mayhem. But then they end up at the end turning on each other, whatever. It was a really, 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 really good film. Like, it was cute. It was funny. I thought the comedy was cute, and I thought they had a few scares. Katherine Heigl is a really great actress, and I loved her in it. Yeah, it was just a really good film. It really was a really good film. It was one of my favorites, honestly. I would even say it's kind of like almost my second favorite. But I think my second favorite is the second one. So the second Child's Play, oh god, I remember watching it when I was like 2 or 3 years old. It was like on TV. It was like Halloween marathon on or whatever for Halloween. I remember watching it for the first time. It was so good, but so scary. It still scares the shit out of me. I love that film. I just love it. I love the whole ending scene in the factory. I love the scares. I love the scene in the school with the teacher. Just a really good film. I loved it. He went into the adopted family, and they were a little iffy because he came from the stories of the doll killing people. So, but they still adopted him, and then, of course, they lived to regret it because then they end up dying because of Chucky. Yeah, it was really, really, really good. I loved also that the toy factory who made Chucky, or made the dolls, didn't believe Andy and made it seem like they were crazy, and that the dolls, it never happened. It was in the child's make-believe land, but it really wasn't. Like, the doll was really alive. But the factory wanted to keep pumping out these toys because it was a great success, and they didn't want to lose business, so they made it seem like they were the crazy ones. Or maybe they really did believe that they were the crazy ones, but they weren't. So then the first film is the best epic ass shit ever. It came in 1988. It was such an epic fucking film, the first one. It really was. That scene when the mother realizes the doll is alive and it comes alive in her hands. Oh, it was the best scene ever. I just love the whole first film. It really was. They made it's a little far-fetched because of the voodoo and the magic and how we transferred the soul into the doll, but, you know, it was still a really cool idea. I loved it. Scary ass fucking doll. I could never buy a Chucky doll and have it in my house because it was just, girl, it's way too scary. And I still get scared watching the films. Like, I still get, like, really scared. Like, the first two especially, like, it's, like, really scary. So, yeah, yeah, I loved it. I love Child's Play. Really good franchise, really good. It got really bad after the Bride of Chucky, but, the first 4 were, like, really good. Anyway, so that's my ranking of my top 3 favorite horror films: Child's Play, Scream, and then Jeepers Creepers. I hope you guys enjoyed. I have to go. Girl, I have to go because, tonight I'm gonna film a scary story time. I want to film a scary story time. I like to film my scary story times at night. So we're gonna film it tonight when I get home tonight. So I'm gonna film the scary story time. It's a really good one. It's really good. Not that the last one I just filmed wasn't good, but this one's, like, really scary. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna pump out these really cool. I'm gonna do another ranking of my horror films. Another video, another one, because this whole month of October I want to film videos like that. You know, it's spooky season. Let me see what time it is. All right, I have to go. I love you guys. And Perfume of the Day is Jimmy Choo. Lipstick of the Day is Witch Bitch by Luna Beauty, MAMUA, with Unicorn Blood, Jeffree Star lip liner on it. I mean, you know, liner lips. Okay, bye guys.